Hey there. Joe, you want to tell them why we're in the truck?
We're taking a little road trip across America.
We are traveling about halfway across the country to go pick up our newest toy.
Newest toy?
Want to tell them what our newest toy is?
We talked Becky into buying an RV. What kind of RV is it?
Transcend Xplor 265BH.
Transcend Xplor. So we're going to Gassville, Arkansas to go get it.
Gassville, Arkansas.
Stopping along the way to visit with our relatives in Oklahoma. And I'm driving my new truck across the country with Becky, and we're going to have a good trip.
And we are packed to the gills. We got the cab of the truck is full of stuff, and the back under that tonneau cover chock full. We are ready.
Chock full of stuff for an RV. So
Fill up our second home.
let the adventure begin. Adventure awaits. What you cooking? Pork chops? Where's the applesauce? Pork chops, pork chops, pork chops. Here we are in downtown Sand Springs, Oklahoma. Just had some ice cream over there at the ice cream shop.
Gassville, Arkansas, about to pull into.
Hey, what's up, guys? I will start with the entry door. Nothing really,
YouTube channel.
nothing really special here. As we go, we'll show you the screen door and stuff. Pretty basic on the steps here. You build the same type of steps, which is pretty easy. You just fold them up. Always start with the bottom first. We're gonna roll up. Always do underhand on these things. It even tells you, just in case you go overhand, you're gonna snap your wrist on.
Okay.
Always underhand that. Here, little spot right here. That's gonna be, you're gonna have a 3/4 inch jack handle on that thing. That's actually to pull your slide in case your slide motor fails for some reason.
Okay.
You have to emergency get it in.
Okay.
Just stick a 3/4 inch socket or that little hand crank. You'll be able to pull that slide in.
Okay.
Move along right here. It's gonna be where your range vent is, above your range stove. There is a little flapper here for actually evacuating the smoke or cooking stuff, whatever you
Becky, you want to reach up there and put your hand on it so you know how to do it?
Yeah, so right now it's open.
Okay.
So that's where you want it if you actually want to exhaust some stuff.
Okay.
For storage, you definitely want to just when pull tabs, push those suckers in.
Okay.
That's definitely.
About travel, it doesn't matter.
I would close it if you can, if you remember, because sometimes they will flap themselves to death. So I definitely, if you can, remember to check that, close that off. Yep, and then just little pull tabs there. Yep, and that's ready to be used. Obviously, the switch is in there.
Got the first thing down good.
Right. Good job, Becky.
Thanks.
On the outside, you do have exterior speakers out here. There is zoning on your radio, so you can select zone 1 or 2.
Okay.
Most likely it's going to be zone number 2 for the outside.
Okay. And zone 1 is just inside entirely,
most likely it's
all
going
the
to be on the
inside?
ceiling.
Okay.
You do have a GFI outlet here. That's if you want to have an outside TV or something like that. You also have coax out here, cable out. Sometimes campsites.
Watch Saturday
cable.
football. Yep.
Yeah.
Watch
So
are
if
you an
hook up the
Arkansas fan?
cable-
I'm not. I'm from Michigan originally.
Okay.
I'm not really into sports. But
So if you hook up the cable over there, it
yes,
flies
this is
all
an
the
outgoing. Yep.
jack. Okay.
Yep. Right now you do have everything's hooked up for air channels on your antenna.
Okay.
So probably when we go in there, the TV will be on.
It is.
That's gonna be your air channels.
Okay. Already, sorry.
All right, that's fine. That's whatever. Right here is going to be your exhaust and intake for your furnace. Nothing really had to do out here, but I would recommend trying to find a screen or buying a mud dauber screen for this.
Because heat comes out.
Yes, and mud daubers are a big issue with these things. If you let them sit, especially in the summer, you're not using this. Mud daubers will get in there, make their nest. You go to turn it on in the winter, and it's not going to spark.
Okay.
They'll probably build their nest right by the ignition.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
It's a really cheap investment for that. Just to be safe, it just goes on the outside.
Okay.
Comes with a tool.
Right on.
You can buy that here or anywhere.
Okay.
Electric awning, we'll show you that when we step on inside. The features there. Looks like you're gonna go to your bedroom. Yep. Lock that. On there. You have 4 stabilizers, 1 on each corner. We use a 3/4 inch jack wrench, or you can just get a 3/4 inch drill.
We brought a drill.
Just don't. I always recommend don't using an impact on them.
Brought the drill, not the impact.
Yeah, cool. Just starts wearing on the back.
Right.
Yep. And here is your wrench for those, or for your.
Slide.
Yep.
Okay.
There. Nothing really else here, but we do have a few lights around the camper that have a couple settings on them. There is a motion sensor on those. So number 2 setting is going to be your motion sensor. Right here.
Okay.
You can leave it on 2, and if you open it up, it just automatically comes on. And then 0, or the center is off, and 1 is just on.
Okay.
Nothing else in here. We'll keep walking around. And then really nice on the magnetic glasses on the
Yeah.
You guys got a brand new battery, as well as 2 20-pound propane tanks.
Okay.
Full. Yep.
How many amp hours are in that battery? Do you know?
It's a deep cycle. I want to say 175. Just count me on that, actually.
Okay, so
Maybe,
going
but it
on
should be.
video.
If I remember correctly, it should be Interstate 24 series.
Okay.
So these are brand new. Definitely recommend if you can to just fill them up instead of swap them. The selector valve, which you can select what tank you want to pull from. There's a little indicator here. If it's white or green, it's okay. If it's red, you don't have pressure, or there's something wrong with your regulator. That's really all.
If it's red, is it no pressure mean it's empty?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can access the valve from here.
Oh.
So you just twist these off.
Thanks. That wasn't descriptive. Huh?
Yeah, he
You
understood
get
you.
access to here.
Okay.
Whenever you do take this off and refill your tanks, always put your cover on this way. We've heard when they're flipped around that way, to catch air and you lose
Oh, okay.
the cover.
Okay.
Okay.
So just on the jack, you do have an on-off for the light switch, as well as extended track on that. Really simple on that. And we'll go through the chains and stuff when we hook it up and show you all the weight distribution on that.
Okay.
This is your water center here. This is your basically your command center. You can run your hoses through here.
Okay.
Water hose and stuff. I would recommend probably getting a 90-degree elbow for this. Sometimes it is a little tight on the
Done.
turn.
We got it.
So you do have the option of filling your fresh tank from here. So you got that fresh tank which stores water. You can use your water pump to pull into the unit.
Okay.
If you're just hooked up to city and you're already running that, you just switch this valve over to city, which is where it's at. This is where also you can bring your cables in, and sometimes people that have heated hoses, they can run that through and power it up from here.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, when you
That was
go
great.
cold camping,
Yeah.
you want to heat your hoses so they don't freeze.
Really easily, yeah.
So, question: is there an indicator inside of how full your fresh tank is, or just okay?
Yep.
How much do you like? We were talking about putting some in to travel home, just so we
Yes.
could use
Yep.
facilities on the side of the road or whatever.
Absolutely.
How much?
Yeah.
is like a, would you recommend just for sink and toilet type
Sink and
use?
toilet, I wouldn't go past half. Up here, you do have a solar charge controller. It is on standby mode. It's already hooked up. There's nothing you have to do here. There's a button just for battery selection, but it is already selected on the battery that you need.
Okay.
So there's nothing you have to do there.
Would there be a reason to turn that off?
You definitely want it on, especially if you store the rig. If it's still in sun, it will keep the battery maintained. Right here, you have a little quick connect hose. On the other side, you should have a cold water port for that. Just a little quick connection on the outside there. This unit should be ready to go for you guys. There should be no winterizer included. So this is your hot and cold low points. These are the lowest points of the camper. If you do decide to winterize it yourself, that's where you'll be going to drain the water out and then closing them off to fill them with winterizing fluid, or however you guys are going to
Do we ever need to touch those if we're living in Arizona and there's no chance of freezing?
So we get like 2 freezes a year.
Yeah. You guys northern Arizona or
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so, all right. Yeah, really no.
So that's the only time is to drain those.
Winterize, unless you're going to sanitize the system, you can flush out the old water and close them off.
Okay.
Used up. Right here, we got your sewer outlets. Well, before we go there, we'll talk about this. This is your black tank flush valve. If you do like to use this, typically when you're flushing out your black tank, which is your toilet only, you'll hook up city water to this. I would not recommend using a potable water hose. A different hose would be suitable for this, and you can turn on the city water, put pressure in there, and it sprays inside the black tank, kind of cleans it out. When you use this, if you recommend having the valve on the black tank open, you just don't want, in case you forget that the tank's closed, it will back flush into the toilet.
Yeah.
So you guys got 2 valves here. Your gray is going to be all your sinks and showers, and then your black is going to be your toilet only. You guys, always when you travel, you want to have your tap on there. If you see sediment falling down when you're driving, you might get pulled over for that. So always, whenever you dump them, you always want to do black first. Get the sediment out. I wouldn't recommend closing it and trying to flush it. Sometimes people will sit with the toilet and fill it up some more, or you can use the black tank flush. You can go till you're satisfied with how clear it is. Then you close off the black and flush with the gray.
Right on.
Always chase your black tank with the gray.
Okay. And then how can you tell it's closed and open?
So closed. It is closed right now. The valve's all the way closed. If it was open, that valve would be open. You'd see that shaft.
Okay, so just the
These are
valve
both closed.
out.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. That's really how you're going to tell there.
Great question.
I just thought the whole thing went in and out, not the valve.
Yep.
Okay.
Just as a forewarning, make sure, especially if there's a crack or something you're traveling, when you get ready to drop this cap off, be prepared. Sometimes you maybe left something in there or something when you get out of the way.
Okay.
Give a little bit to come out, but if you flush it correctly, you should be fine.
Okay. Becky, every time.
Another good thing would
Every time you flush it?
Yeah, every time you do that, make sure you do it right.
Buy a camper if you do the black place.
you can, which I really like. I actually own a camper myself. Is having the clear adapter that goes on right here.
We have that.
Cool. Do you have the one that can shoot water into it
Yeah,
as well?
Rhino
Yes.
Blaster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you can do that and actually flush up in there, flush down in there.
Right.
Bring it out for you. So it looks like it is in bypass right now.
Okay.
So the low point is out of it. This is your anode rod that protects the tank from corrosion.
Okay.
If you do store it with no water in it, you'll be pulling this out after you depressurize it. This will sit in here, but we will thread that on there and get that going for you guys. I'm not sure how long.
Is that a 3/4 inch as well?
It is a 1 1/16 socket.
Okay, so a little bit bigger.
1 16 socket, yep.
I didn't understand most of that. So
So
it's been de-winterized right now.
It is winterized right now.
It is winterized.
Yeah.
We need to.
So it must have been sitting. Yes, please. Yep.
Okay.
Grab the socket for that. I'm not sure how long ago this was finalized, but most likely there was possible freeze or there's still not de-winterize it yet.
okay.
So we'll get that going for you guys. We'll de-winterize the system.
And then we won't need to touch any of this unless we want to.
Correct.
And then we'll
Yeah.
watch a YouTube video.
Yep. Even on this one, there's nothing really you have to do here.
Okay.
There is a high pressure relief valve. Really, we only use this to fill it up, and it is a safety feature in case it overheats or overpressurizes. It will bust out on you
Okay.
and just open up. There's no switches in here. It's all done on the inside. So other than that, you do have an electric and propane.
Does this run? It runs on both.
Electric and propane. You can select one or the other or both at the same time.
Both help speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, propane is much quicker at the heat up.
Okay.
It does take a little more energy for that. Electric, if you're paying for a site or paying for your spot, you might as well use it.
Yeah.
But if you're taking showers frequently, this is a little bit of a smaller tank. You might want to have both on. 30 amp hookup here. It is a twist lock. We have a little screw lock here. Just loosen that up, twist and pull. It'll get your cord out. I'd keep this hooked up in there in case someone trips over. It's not going to yank your connections.
Right.
Here, you just got another light and outlet in there.
Okay.
Good spot to keep your cord. It's real close by.
Right.
Here is another place where you can fill your freshwater tank. What's good is this kind of locates your freshwater tank. It is in the back. So if you do fill it up, you shouldn't be too worried about tongue weight. This is going to kind of balance out the rig and keep a little bit off the front. And here's your little spray port. Quick connect. It is cold water only.
The bumper stores the sewer code.
Yep. Wash this. Pull this stuff off a little bit. Yep, you can store the sewer hose in there. You should fit everything, maybe not.
Oh, it didn't come as
Yeah.
long as you have our.
It does not come. But yeah, you just squeeze it really hard and pop it out.
That's why you're doing the sewer.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
Can't get it off with my nails.
Okay, so we want to winterize.
Yep.
He has two Intex Challenger K1 inflatable kayaks, and they've never been used.
Yeah, there's even a little directions there.
Okay. That's left on there.
For them, which
Yep.
is half
You
off
just
what
got
they paid the store.
3 valves down here. You got to turn
Okay.
757
1, 2, and 3.
Gotcha.
Right here is your convenience center tank monitor system. Battery level right here. It will show full when you're hooked up because there is a converter that supplies power to the battery. Fresh tank, that's where you're going to be looking for your fresh tank fill. When you're filling it up, you just come here, look it, make sure you see it. I'd say 2/3 would be just fine for traveling. Right here you get your black tank for your toilet. And then your gray one on here while I'm rolling it up. When we get this rolling out, I just get you over here. We got the ceiling light, main
Okay.
ceiling light. Exterior light, we got a bar light. Should be right here behind the door. You'll see as these come out, there's a little secondary flap. Might be a little stuck. We'll get it unstuck here and then sit for a minute.
Does that only do that in the beginning?
Yeah.
This is stuck.
Yeah. Hold on, flap. There we go. When you see that flap and you see it right about there, that's the full extent.
Okay.
Pretty much where you want to stop. If you hold that button, it will continue to roll backwards. You don't want that to happen.
Damage. Okay.
Yep. It'll just roll it back. It'll still work, but you don't want it because it'll catch water and the actual fabric. There's a couple arms on here that you have some adjustment. It's a little pitch adjustment. When this awning is out, you can actually crack this one or the front one. It kind of pitches the awning a little bit. So if you have a drizzle or something, still want to have the awning out, it'll actually send the water this way.
Okay.
Say if you're parked in the front, you don't want the water coming on your vehicle or something, you can crack that.
Okay.
Okay, so that's really the only point of it is water.
Yeah, yep, just for
runoff.
pitching. You have it on both sides, but just when you put it back, you want to make sure it's straight before you roll it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Water pump is also going to be turned on from here, so obviously when you got your fresh water in there, turn your water pump on. Water heater controls are right here, gas and electric.
Okay.
Nothing you have to do besides make sure the water in there before you turn it on. Other than that, it's just going to do its thing. Propane, as long as you have propane on, it will take a second to ignite, but slide controls here, biggest thing with that is make sure your floor is clean. There's no rocks or anything in the way. If it does drive really close to the ground, if there's little rocks, pebbles, you'll roll them underneath there and start damaging your vinyl. So that's another thing that slide maintenance on that one.
Okay.
And then your radio right here, pretty simple. You got Bluetooth and all that stuff. You also have zone selection. So zone one's going to be your interior. Volume control here.
Straight for those who live here and to enhance our
Turn that off. You know, it's got zone 2 on the outside. On the back side of this, though, I do want to show you.
Okay.
It is magnetic storage, so you just put it back there and it will click on there. Right here is your antenna booster. Also your satellite out. And this little red light right here gives you your air channels.
Okay.
There's a little booster that enhances the signal. If you want to have air channels, make sure that's on.
Okay.
Otherwise, you won't really get the channels.
Okay.
And then your satellite out right here.
Okay.
AC is obviously right here. You have controls, should be on that wall right behind you there.
Okay.
You do have an ability to direct vent, so if you want to just get this area a little bit cooler quicker, you can just open that up. Otherwise, when this is shut, it diverts it to all your ceiling vents.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, but you do have that option if you open that flap. You get the fan out, and one out there.
Okay.
As well as that little light right there. On this stove, it is gas oven, and it does have a lighter for the oven and stove top. You definitely want to make sure this is down when you travel.
Okay.
This is where the transporters will come and they come down and shatter. So make sure when you get ready to do your little items, if you're traveling with it, make sure that's down.
Okay.
A couple lights here. You got light up on the top and then light down for the oven. The oven does have a pilot lid, so you can turn it there. Hold that. It's going to take a couple seconds to get the propane through that little pilot light, and then you can spark it up. And slide stuff. You have on your toilet the push valve here.
Okay.
This is where you want to get the water hooked up.
Oh, did they hook our water up already?
Just like it. You can flush out the system.
So the
So
hose.
you can, you can sit here if you want to add some after you get dumping.
Okay.
Do that as well.
Okay.
Little shower lock there. Screen. Because you like regular house, you got the hot cold valves. As long as your hot water's on, you're good to go.
Okay.
Another ceiling fan up there. Any questions on here? It's kind of a tight location, but you have a TV mount there.
Is there any? We did do a second TV. Well, we're planning on moving that TV in here. We got one over there. So is there?
Yeah,
You want to tell where you mount it?
There should be right where that sticker is. There should be a pretty good area for a TV mount.
Okay.
You just want to make sure you have your TV in your mount.
You want to make sure you don't have too long of lags that would go through the outside.
Definitely stick within. Definitely
Inch.
inch and a quarter max.
Okay.
2.25 max.
Anywhere in that center location. Use those for air. You just crack that little lever. You pull that lever up.
The red one?
Yep. So just push it in and pull it up, and then pull it towards you in the center, and then push that window out. Yep, right there.
Gotcha.
You can lock it like that. Get some air going in here. If it was an emergency, you bust that red through and pull that red tab. Get the screen going.
That's just full screen.
Yep. And you should have also some storage underneath here.
Nice.
Storage underneath here. Any questions about the bedroom at all?
Any-
Switch right behind you there for the main ceiling lights.
Yes, please on that side,
Yep.
not this side.
Right.
Sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Can't
You
get
have to
USB.
share and she's gonna crawl over to get the
My
charge
side.
up.
Terrible. Terrible.
Okay, fridge.
It's
It's a 12-volt fridge.
face the right way to push that.
That's why it's cold. It was
Oh,
off.
okay, good.
These get cold really quick though.
Good.
These 12-volt styles.
We're excited about the fridge with what we've saw.
Yep, it's got plenty of space compared to those older styles. It's got a lot more depth.
Solar control in it.
Yep. So your battery will do it as well as you're traveling. It will stay cool because your truck's charging your battery. If you leave it on, your battery will charge. Just so you look, you got the fire smoke protector up there on the ceiling.
And nothing we need to make sure it's off other than the debris and the nothing blocking it before you pull it in. There's nothing inside. backed it up.
There's no cabinet doors you really have to worry about over there, especially with that slider door. There's no doors going to get in the way. Hear
Take care of that.
Yeah,
That
it's going to
sucks.
do the same thing as it goes out. It's going to
Okay.
be your furthest time.
So
Right
it's
on.
not bad to hear, but that's
Yeah.
our indicator
Yep.
to stop.
It's a little chuck that kind of gives it attention.
Okay.
The only thing you will have trouble with is if this is down. The bed will
Oh, okay.
It'll catch on the slide.
Okay, make sure that
hear that? Same
Yeah.
thing? Yep. As far as this, let's just go over here real quick. We did pass the main thermostat control.
Okay.
This will do your heat and your air. Yep, so by just pressing the center, you change the mode.
Okay. What was the flashing F? Was that just off?
Furnace.
Oh, okay.
It'll tell you, you know, it's on
Okay.
at night.
Yeah, please don't turn that on.
So, only way to turn it off and turn on is to hold the power button.
Okay.
Green or blank. Here's a little just indicator of the interior temp. As you go through, it goes to fan to heat. Heat, fan, dry, that kind of just condenses and gets rid of the moisture in here. And then cool. Really easy. You got the fan selection here on the lower section, low, high, and your temp control. So it's all heat and air from here.
When these air conditioners in these Grand Designs are on, do they do a pretty good job at keeping it cold?
Yeah. Should be good. It is a 30 amp service, but that one should be great. I definitely just keep that valve closed and just have it distribute.
Okay.
In the Arizona, in the beginning, because the roof, it's only so thick. In your case, out there in the heat.
I doubt we're going to be doing a whole lot of camping in the desert in the summertime. We'll be going up, we've got the mountains in the northern half of Arizona. We'll be going up there.
Right down here, it is a hardwired LPA CO2 detector.
Okay.
So it's hardwired in the rig. The only time that will go off is if the battery gets too low or there's actually a gas leak or CO2 leak.
Okay.
If that goes off, just open up some windows, go outside, turn off the propane, try to diagnose the situation.
Okay.
Really, that's the only time it will go off.
My only question that I had written down you haven't covered, which you probably did cover, and I'm just asking again. When you have the black tank hooked up, like at a campsite where there's dump, Is it just automatically drain, or are you supposed to have the valve closed and then open it before you go?
What you want to do is have it closed, because you need that water and stuff filled up to be able to flush it back out.
Okay.
And if you have the black tank open, again, there's going to be no water in there, and the sediment is just going to pile up.
Okay.
Black tank closed, if you're staying somewhere for a while, more than a week or so, you actually have your grate open. I've done it all the time. And just use it, because it does fill up pretty quick, take showers and stuff.
Okay.
Have the grate open. About a week or so, depending on your guys' use, close that grate up, use a couple days, so you got it back filled, and then you can flush it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, pretty much. But so when you're at a campsite with the dump station, do people actually leave it, plug it into that? I mean, it's not going to be like the dorks that have it plugged in or that.
It's not something you only before leaving you hook up. You go ahead and hook it up and it's there.
Yeah.
If you're just weekend tripping it, you can do it that way. Just leave your hoses
Yeah,
set
watch the
until,
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
You got to learn all the etiquette too. We're pretty.
Newbies.
That's cool. And I full time for 2.5 years actually with Gassville, and community is crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It is.
Yeah, we're excited
So when
about
we
that.
have stupid questions, they won't.
Oh, dude, everyone else.
Somebody will jump right
Got
on it
problems,
and help you.
someone will help you.
I'm totally fine being like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before.
There's always those people. They're everywhere. Pins. I got little tapered rods.
Okay.
Pop the table
Okay,
off.
pull it
take
off
the
straight
rod
up.
off, and drop it down.
Okay.
You can travel with it just like this. If you feel more comfortable,
Okay.
you can set it down, but it should be alright.
Yeah, that probably is something I should ask. Like, other than the stuff we add to it, what should we do for an app? You said that.
Yep.
Travel wise, I heard somebody take their TV off. Maybe
Is it
when I
okay?
get the
If it's a bigger TV, yeah.
Okay. But this is okay.
If you do get a new TV in the bedroom, just make sure you buy a strap for it or something that you can put on when you travel.
Okay.
That's just got a magnetic flash. It should be
Okay. And that magnetic flash closed just hinges.
Yeah, there's actually two magnets. There's one on this portion.
Okay.
One on this portion.
Gotcha. Yeah, you said that, but I wasn't sure what it was. Okay.
Doors and cabinets. If you guys got a lot of stuff stored up in here and it's kind of loose, sometimes I used to stuff pillows just for extra space.
Is it worth like putting some around the handles to hold things?
No, not unless they're kind of loose. Yeah, you should be okay. Nothing there. Oven definitely slides. You're good in your fridge. The doors, but all your doors are sliders, so
Yeah.
not too much issue there.
Latch them up.
The couch, you want to show her one time how that lifts up and
Oh, yeah.
goes flat.
That definitely make sure it's a scissor style.
Super easy to do. Looks like it was in all the videos. So.
Yeah. And then you do need to assist it a little bit. When you get it up, just hold the back end.
Right on.
Yep. Scissor style. Put it underneath there. You got your sliders here.
So we've got the trailer behind us, Becky,
Yeah.
going through the Ozarks
Pulling well.
so far. Fingers crossed.
Yep. Beautiful drive. Backup cameras pointing straight at the ground. Gotta fix that when we stop. But it works, so yay.
There's the Chariot all set up here at the KOA campground in Elk City, Oklahoma. Next stop will be Albuquerque tomorrow, and then back into Phoenix. And it's just a windy afternoon here. KOA campground journey. Not really crowded, but plenty of RVs here, so we're having a good time. There's ours right over there, all hooked up. Small cabins people can stay at here at the KOA Journey in Elk City, Oklahoma.
Shall we do this again? Now that I hit record? Man, I got a problem with hitting the record button. So we are stopped on the side of the road at a rest area. Make some sandwiches. Take a little break.
Breather.
Enjoying the ability just to pull over and have access to all of our food and stuff in the camper.
Right on. Still get access to the fridge and get what we need.
Yep, fridge stays running because that's solar and the 12 volts, so that's good.
So the trailer's holding up well, taking it back across the country.
Extremely windy today.
Extremely windy. Winds are blowing about 20 to 25 miles an hour here where we are right now. So
you can see it out the window out there a little bit. But Joey's doing great, keeping us safe and on the road.
here we are at the campground. Storm's pushing in. We're in Albuquerque at the Route 66 Casino RV Campground and Resort. It's a beautiful resort. We've had a great afternoon since arriving. And there she is.